Good morning. Wasn't worship good? I don't know about over there, but Jesus was hanging out with us over here. It was good. 1978, a Methodist pastor, John Culp, who lived in the Columbia area, saw a need in his community to help those that were living in some poverty situations, specifically with working on their homes and having an opportunity to speak into their lives. And so from 1978 to now, there's about 40 camps throughout the state of South Carolina. And a handful of us from this church had the privilege of going to one in the great metropolis of Sumter, South Carolina, at the first of this month. Brett Davis and his family have been going for several years and told me about it a couple years ago. And my son went last year, and we all went this year. Luke, our youth pastor, he went. And so I just want to tell you about that. We traveled to Sumter, and so we had 35 campers come into Sumter, and those 35 campers were split up into 3 teams who worked on 3 homes. When we got there initially, we had a meeting in April, and on this meeting, they were talking about the homes, and they were going to assign site leaders to each home. Now, understand, I've never been part of this organization before. They don't know me. I don't know them. We're at this meeting, and they hand out the sheets, and my name's at the top of the list as the site leader. And I raised my hand, and I said, there's been some big mistake, because I don't know what I'm doing. And I turned around at Brett, and he laughed. And they said, don't worry. There's a gentleman named Mr. Lynn who's there. He's very knowledgeable. That's Mr. Lynn. Before I had met Mr. Lynn, I asked my son, do you know this guy? I said he would be an older gentleman, older man. Do you know him? And he's like, he's a man's man. And I'm like, that's all I needed to know. That was good. So from April until June, I prayed for Mr. Lynn that absolutely nothing would happen to him, because he was on my team and he knew everything that needed to happen. He's on a roof right now because he wouldn't let me up there because it was too hot for me. We experienced a great deal of emotion. We worked our tails off. It was everything from replacing windows to replacing roofs, parts of roofs, porches, closets, floors that were soft. There's one picture in there. They replaced the entire roof, and this home right here, the entire roof and siding on the home that had just fallen apart over time. And so it's happening again next summer. So I want you to block off your whole summer. I want you to go with me. I don't have the date yet. It'll probably be the first part of June, first to second week of June. And I want you to go. I'm serious. That's Luke with his legs hanging down through the ceiling. Can you go to the picture of Miss Libby? That's Miss Libby. Miss Libby is 81 years old. She's legally blind, and she walks around as the happiest person you've ever met in your life. She's one of those that when we get there, I just want to hang out with her for a couple hundred years in heaven. Just the sweetest lady in the world, and carries Jesus with her everywhere she went. So that was Salkehatchie. That was the camp for this year. And completely, it wrecked me in a very good way. It was really good, and I hope you'll come next year. From 14 years old up, men, women, doesn't matter. Come on.